Sir, you just broke that down very clear. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know about you, viewer audience, but if you do the math of what he just said, that don't sound to me like this great, loving, and supportive foster home. It sounds like a business, sounds like a job, sounds like an occupation. And me coming up in the foster home, and I have to say this is, I can remember my foster mother saying to me, telling me how ugly I was, and that like it was only about the money. And you know, if she didn't get paid no money, that I wouldn't be there. Now, I'm not saying exactly that this is the same situation, but there was like 9 or 10 boys there in this foster home. You know, and so you talking about, I don't know how much they make for each kid back then. I can imagine what they get today. But I don't care how much money it is. There is no price or dollar amount that can account for a child with his grandmother, a child with his grandfather, a child with the mother or father. You know what I mean? And so what I want to do is I want to come back to you guys. Just hold it for a second, because I have a young lady here who was like myself, was in a foster home, and I want to just let her kind of say a few words about how you feel about, first, you being in a foster home, and what it did to you spiritually and mentally. And I'm quite sure, like me, you still have in the back of your mind a little bitterness. And then I will take you into, what do you think about the grandmother getting her child, 2 grandchildren back?
Well, right now I'm 15 and I was in foster care when I was a newborn to the age of 2. They wouldn't let my dad get me out. They made my dad go through processes and take childcare classes for 2 years, and he was my real dad, the dad that helped take care of me. And the crazy thing about it that made me feel bad about it is because I had another brother in there. Even though that wasn't my dad's son, my dad treated him like a son. My dad was there since my mom gave birth to him, and they wouldn't let him take my brother out. And the last time I seen my brother was when I was 2 years old, and I still only got one picture of how my brother looks to me. And it was when we was in the bed, jumping in my bed when I was still in foster care before my dad got me out. And like, to me right now, it makes me feel bad that I see so many people that tell me that they're in foster care or they've been in foster care. Like, if I go to my school right now and ask people how many people been in foster care, basically about 3/4 of my school probably been in foster care or are still in foster care. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about, I don't think it's, like, I agree with y'all that it's about, I think it's a little group or whatever that they're doing. I don't know, what was it? Basically a group. And they're trying to make money off of it. That's what I thought. And to this day, I still see people go around and just adopt kids for the money, mm-hmm. the paycheck that they mm-hmm. get. For instance, my stepmom that I live with right now with my dad, she adopted her nephew only for a year for the paycheck, and that was her blood nephew, and then she gave him back to the state. And I told her how I felt about it, and she understood it because she knew that I was in foster care. She took care of me since I was 6 or 7. And to this day, I still feel bad. I apologize to the people that I know that's been in foster care, even though I know I've been in foster care. Every day I go to school, and when I look at those people, it makes me want to cry because I know how they feel and I know what they've been through. I know most of their parents beat them. Most of them do terrible things to them, really terrible things. And I feel bad, and I do hope that this will get through the whole world and help us get the children to back how they should be and get them with their real parents or mm-hmm. somebody that's blood to them, because I don't think that's right to not let blood family members get their blood family members, because mm-hmm. if that was me and I couldn't go with my dad, I would probably not be where I'm at right now. I'm mm-hmm. pretty sure, because I know some people mm-hmm. that I grew up with in foster care that still go to my school. They're not the way that I think they should be. They do terrible things. They run away. I don't like seeing when people run away. It makes me feel bad. So I believe that that's wrong.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm gonna just one question I want to ask you. How do you feel about Sister Dorothy, the grandmother of these children?
I give her
trying so vigorously,
yes,
you
I
know,
understand.
to get these children. How do you feel about that?
I give her so much respect for trying to get her grandchildren back, because it reminds me of my dad going through basically the same process of getting me back. And at the time, like they said, like y'all said, she's by herself with her husband. My dad was by himself with my grandma, and they both went through so much to get me back. I give all three of them so much respect because I know how it feels to get your children back, because my dad tells me all the time how he feels to get me back and how he is so happy to have me out of all 10 of his kids living with him. And he still tells me to this day he wish he could have got my brother. Even though my brother is not his real son, he wish he could have got him because he treated him like a son, and he really loved him, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to say I'm glad that you did be able to reconcile with your father and everything. And that really touches me because, as you can see, my big spoiled baby daughter is in there, and in my life, it's not about me, it's about her. You know what I mean? And me being in her life, and me continuing to do what I can do, and try to be the man of God that God is making and molding me into each day. I'm still on this potter's wheel, but I understand that Proverbs 22:6 says, train a child in the way that they should grow. When they grow old, they will not depart from it. So that's what I'm trying to do with my daughter.
That's how my dad
that's right.
My dad has 10 kids. I'm the third oldest out of all of them. He got 6 girls and 4 boys. And it's like we're all about 2-3 years apart.
Okay.
And my dad tries to get us every time he can. And from this day, he calls me his baby girl every day, and I tell him not to do that because I'm not his youngest. But I do respect that because the way he took care of me, and he had me in his custody since I was 2.
You'll always be his baby girl.
Yes.
You'll always be his baby girl.
To my dad, I will. And
I will. Yeah.
And I'm happy that I'm with my dad, because if I wouldn't be with my dad, I wouldn't be able to see none of my family members or none of my little brothers. I probably wouldn't even know I had little brothers and sisters right now.
Well, thank God you do.
Yes, I'm happy that I do.
Let me ask you a quick question. Do you remember what at the beginning of the show we said that we're going to have the Love Dare be today?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember? Do y'all remember?
No.
At this time on every show, what we do is we have a Love Dare. And our Love Dare is to just let the community be involved in the particular Love Dare that we pick on our show. And because our guest today is our special honored grandmother who is trying to get custody of her 2 children, our Love Dare, our grandchildren, our Love Dare will be to help someone else's children. Yeah. To help somebody else's children. Yep, that's good. You know, and so with that in
anymore. You got a lot of family members are qualified and able and willing to take their grandchildren, take their nieces, cousins, sisters, and brothers, and they are not allowed to take their own family members because they don't want you to take them, because if you take them, that means you're taking the tax dollars, taking the system. But why would you waste taxpayers' money, people who have worked hard all their life, and taking who got family members who will help take some of the burden off the system? A lot of family members are asking for nothing. They are asking for no dollars to raise their grandchildren. All they asking is to be able to get their kinfolk. But you can't even get your people in the state of Minnesota. Someone cannot tell me that that's not a problem. I went to a senator's office yesterday, and the lady made a comment. I was beginning to explain to her, and I told her there was 10 kids can be outside in a group, and out of that 10, you may have 8 of them in foster care. She looked at me and told me that was common. No, that's not common. That tells me there's a problem in your state.
God has sent somebody here to tell you what